Alright, welcome back everybody to Cheeky TV. I'm hoping to do a little slideshow again for you guys. Excuse me. Because today I woke up and I saw that Ineos had said that Ruben Amorim is gonna get his full season. And honestly, I just wanted to make a quick video. Hopefully it's quick because I'm gonna try to make it quick, but I'm trying to go over kind of everything that has happened since Ineos have taken over and since Amorim has taken over in a really quick kind of video, but to show why they're gonna stick with him and why we should stick with him, why we should want to stick with him, and why all of the channels that follow Man United and are Man United fan channels should back him. Because honestly, right now the world is against us, and we need to stick together as United fans, yo. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds a little too much, but it's just the truth. Right now, everybody wants us to continue this manager carousel, right? They want us to continue to change managers and all this stuff, and just never really just fully fix something, right? Just continue to bring 3, 4, 5 players that fit one system, one manager, and then change it, and then give him 5, 6 players that fit that system, and then change them again. And we just continue this carousel where it never ever changes, right? We have to finally stick with somebody, and this is the guy that I personally think we should stick by, because I just don't think we've given him enough. We haven't given him enough time. We haven't really changed the team enough for him to be able to have the players that fit his system, the way that he wants to play. Now I think he's been a little bit too hard-headed in the fact that he hasn't made certain tweaks to his system that he just probably doesn't want to do, because he said it before in an interview where he wants them to know his idea fully 100%, and then he can deviate, but I just don't feel like he has the players to understand it. I've made videos previously that show the mistakes that these individuals that have been here for multiple managers, which can just, I mean, if there's if there's evidence that supports a fact or that supports a statement, maybe it's a fact, right? Luke Shaw, Diogo Dalot, Harry Maguire, and Bruno Fernandes have been here through 4 managers at least, right? Ole, Ragnick, Eric Ten Hag, and now Ruben Amorim, right? Yet for some reason, I mean, Shaw's been here since Mourinho, but for some reason, none of these guys, right? None of them seem to be getting any of the fire, right? Like, Amorim's getting all this fire for, not winning games and stuff. But I've shown that the 3 defenders especially have made major individual mistakes that have led to goals, which means losses. They just don't have the capacity to understand the system. Just go back to my last video and I show you how they're individual mistakes and not because of tactics or anything like that. I promise you. But onto the positive stuff and why I really believe that we gotta give what's going on here a real chance, because this is really, really finally beginning to feel like we have people that are making the decisions, that are running the club, that are coaching, that really know what the hell they're doing, and that are gonna bring us back. So when the Ineos took over, I've seen a lot of stuff and the negative stuff that they took away the meals for the staffs and stuff like that, and those things I didn't like. I don't like them, but I do understand to a certain degree why that has happened, right? When those things came around, it was probably when we were winning trophies and everything was great at Manchester United. And then we've just been ran for the last 10 years as if we've continued to win these trophies, the league, all this stuff. And now we had to reel it back. We had to reel back to reality. We are not the team that was winning those trophies. We have to get back to that. So what have they done? So pretty much since they've taken over, they've gotten rid of at least 4 players that were making over 200,000 euros a week, right? So and that took a while, because we still haven't even really gotten fully rid of them, but it's been taking so long because those contracts that they inherited that they did not give. Like none of those contracts that Bruno, Casemiro, Mason Mount have still, and that like Rashford, Sancho, and all of them got, they were not given out by the Ineos. The Ineos took over February 2024. Okay, they have not given any of these crazy contracts out. But now we only have 3 players as of this moment on the squad right now that are making 200,000 or more. One of them is Mason. Mason's around like 200 and something. But Casemiro and Bruno are crazy contract. Those two are probably going to be gone by next year. So we'll only really have one player in Mason that's making over 200, which is absolutely fantastic as a turnaround from February to, next year, right? Like you'll see probably summer of 2027. That's in 2 years pretty much, right? In 2 summers or 2026, right? We're in 2026, right? Am I bugging? No, we're 2025. Yeah, so we're in 2025. Next year is 2026. Like, in the summer of 2026, in 2 years, you've literally, like, done craziness when it comes to the contract and the players that are here. And these are the players that they brought in so far since they've been here, all on very good contract. De Ligt, Mazraoui, Xerxes, Ugarte, Cunha, Mbomo, Sesko, Lamens, Yoro, Dorgu, Haven. Like, you got the younger guys who are like Haven, Orozco, and Leon, who are more for like the future. But when I look at all of those players, I not only see like good players, but I see smart players. Like, none of them I can look at and be like, oh, that player has no IQ, extremely low IQs. The only ones that I could say from the guys that are here right now that are like having to have key roles to our team already, Dorgu and Yoro. I don't think Dorgu, for example, is low IQ. I just think both of them are very inexperienced. Yoro played half of the season last season because he was hurt, and then he was starting in and out under Amorim. So he only really started half of the season last season, and he's 19 years old. Dorgu came in through February and has probably, I don't know how many years he played in Italy, but like last season was his first half season in the Premier League at 20 years old. Like, those two guys are very inexperienced, and I think they're going to be very good for us, especially like Lenny Yoro. But they're smart too. Like, they're good young players. So you're looking at this list of people that they've brought in, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, Ugarte is probably the only player that you could say is not like some star or something, but we didn't really pay like star money, or we didn't go crazy. I think he's just a player that's good to have here because, he works hard. He wants to be here. He gives you solid footy. You can't just have all stars on your team, so you do have to have squad players, and I think for a squad player, he's a good squad player. Cunha and Bomo are they're both going to be good. Sesko's going to be good. I'm very excited about the players that they've brought in. And then I wanted to take like a look at what we're looking at from Amorim, like, all of his like matches kinda, and what his record and stuff was like at the beginning of the takeover and now, right? So I'll look at the record itself later on, but I just want you to see he took over November 24th. So you're looking at Ipswich, right? So this is the very first game. You can see that like it looks okay, right? You got some losses, you got some wins, you got a draw here. And then we go to the next page, and this is where most of his losses at the beginning of the season happen, right? Like in his first 17 games. So in his first, I don't even know, 15 games, I'm guessing, right? So, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 games. In his first 16 games, you can see the amount of losses, right, that he was having right away, right? Like when he's trying to teach these young the team how to play and all this stuff. This is really when the main amount of losses happen, was inside of this first 2 months that he was in charge. And then you see that we start kind of picking it up. right? Because this is from last slide. So January 19th. So he took over November 24th. January 19th is this Brighton game, right? So you're looking at about 2 months of him being in charge now. And you kind of want to start seeing a little bit of a difference, right? So you do start seeing a difference. You see this little run of games right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 wins. And then the 1 loss, right? Now, I'm not going into this stuff yet just because I'm about to tell you. So in this game right here, right when it kind of looked like maybe we were going to start kind of getting on a little bit of a run, this game right here, Kobe Mainoo and Ahmad both got hurt, right? So at this point of the season, obviously we don't have Sancho, we don't have Rashford. We've gotten they're on loan now. It's Ahmad has been doing really well. One of these earlier games was the one he scored a hat trick. It was in the previous one, so he's been playing well. I think he scored in this game and I think in one of these, but he was doing really well, right? So at this point, he was our second best player, the only other player other than Bruno that was consistently scoring, that was actually giving us goals and like attacking well. We lost him right here, right? So you're like, man, Kobe Mainoo and him, we lose there. And at that point, you lose 2 of the players that were playing best, and now we're going onto a run where you're playing in the Prem and then the FA Cup, right? And you can see that they tried their best to hold on, right? You got draws and a couple wins and stuff, so they're holding on, which is good. But then right in one of these 3 games right here, Xerxes also gets hurt, or it's maybe up here, and he's out as well. And that's when he was starting to play good. So now the 3 players that were like key for Amorim at this point during all of these results got hurt and missed major time because none of them really came back until like the semifinals of Europa League, like so the end of the season. And then we start going on a run of games where it's still like draws and losses and stuff, but they're just continuing to try to win in the Europa League and try to win, Europa League final. And then towards the end of the season, when we were very thin in our squad, we went into this really bad run of games right here, right? You were missing Xerxes, you're missing Kobe Mainoo, you're missing Ahmad, and we played a good team in Brentford right before the semi-final, stage against Athletic Club. So you're not gonna put your best team out there to play right before this game. And then we played this team 3 days later. They beat us. I mean, yeah, I can't get too mad. Like, we didn't have as many players as we would want to really be super competitive. And then we played Chelsea. Obviously, right before this, we're not going to be extremely focused on this. And this game, honestly, we should have won. And then you look at Europa League, we should have won the Europa League as well. Honestly, we should have definitely won Europa League because we had 70% possession. We created we had 3 big chances missed. We took like 20 shots, like 6 on goal. Like there had to be a goal there to at least tie this or win this. That was horrendous by us for losing that. And then we beat Aston Villa at the end of the season. Blah blah, right? And then we played preseason where we looked really good for West Ham and Bournemouth, which was when we had all of the players from when Amorim took over till that point. And then from that point on, we've had a new front 3 pretty much almost every single game from that point. So it's been, it was like the same 3 for like 3 or 4 games, but then it became new once Cunha got hurt, once Mason got hurt and all that. So, and then this is obviously now. So let's take a look at the first 8 games of the Premier League, right? So in the first 8 games that we lost in the last 8 Prem games, I just want to take a look at the teams that we lost to, because I feel like there has to be some kind of substance and understanding of who we lost to. But in the first 17 Prem games, we were 4-3-10, right? That is very bad and quite understandable because we have a very young team. So we had Dorgu, who's 20. We had Ahmad, who was 22. Hoyland, who was 22. Garnacho, who's 20. Kobe, who's 18, 19. Yoro, who's 19. We had this unbelievably big group of young players last season, and this manager had to come in and try to teach them, along with experienced players who are not very smart. So it was like you're teaching a complicated thing to a group of players, and like young players that are just not gonna be able to grasp it as fast and just as quick. Because honestly, the core that he had to rely on, right? So like the core that he came in to rely on was probably Casemiro, Diogo Dalot, Bruno Fernandes, Harry Maguire, and Luke Shaw. At that point, they're the ones that have been here the longest. They're the ones that have the most experience. Okay, so he comes into that group. Honestly, Diogo Dalot might not have a brain for footy. He might have a brain for something else, but he's not very good at football. Luke Shaw is pretty much the same. Harry Maguire is just a little bit better than both of them, but still very bad. And I think that's been his problem, because the goals we've given up, I promise you, I've shown plenty of examples in previous videos of how those players made crucial individual mistakes to our goals. But you look at the last, so like I just, you that's what he got inherited. So you're teaching a team that honestly just wasn't very good, a new system, middle of the season without preseason, and they go 4-3-10. Okay, I was like, yeah, I understand they weren't very good. Last 18 Premier League games, they were 7-3-8. Not a crazy improvement. I'm not sitting here and saying, hey, look, oh my God, they've gotten so much better. I'm not trying to say that. But there is context to these things, right? Like there is something that you could look at and point to and be like, what could be the real reason why things have been like this, right? And there are. I've shown them in previous videos, but it doesn't matter. In the 8 games that we've lost, right? Because in these 10 games, like the original 10 games that we lost against anybody really. Like just we were losing even against the bad, like all of the bad teams. Like it wasn't like, because I look at this right here, and in the middle of a rebuild, a young team learning how to play a system, all that, losing to these teams, like losing to those teams, I'm not upset about, honestly. This team had Isak last season. This is last season. This is not this season. Forest was last season when they finished like 3rd. This is last season, bro. Like these teams, I'm not upset about. Even the one time, the last season when we lost to Brentford, I'm not upset about, because they were good. The Wolves and this season's Brentford, I'm upset about, because this season's Brentford, I thought we were gonna beat them. And honestly, if it wasn't for like these terrible individual mistakes that Dalot makes in the first and Maguire make in the first goal, and then that they also make in the second goal, bro, like you guys, please, like just look. If you see this video and you're like just look at those videos, bro. Those 2 goals should have never happened, and they're not system based, they're not tactical based. They happen because of those 2. Just go look at my videos, please. Those 2 goals, like the first 2 goals against Brentford, happened because of those guys. Just go take a look, please, bro. Because I'm not upset at losing these games. Forest last season, the only reason why I would be upset is because we dominated them. If you look at that game, I think we had like 70% possession, 20 shots, like all this stuff, and they had one chance. It was just Alanga on the breakaway, like from that corner. They didn't do anything to us, man. Like Forest didn't even play well. It was such an annoying thing. I know I wrote it down somewhere. Let me see if I could find it, because it was like, man, we lose this game against Forest, but we just dominate them. And that was like the one game where it bothered me, because we should have beat them. Honestly, we played so much better than them that game. I would have to find it, but we dominated that game. So it's like 5 out of the last 8 losses that we had weren't even that bad, especially for a team that in the last 6 games, last 3 losses, which 2 of them were to like these 2 guys, Our front three has been brand new than from the team that played the first 30 games under Amorim, 29 games under Amorim. Like our front three from the first 29 games of the Premier League under Amorim till the last 6 is completely new. It's brand new. All three players, bro. It's going to take a little bit of time. They played their very first game on September. On the last game against Brentford was their very first game in the Prem together, bro. Like that last season that we were playing, okay, Onana and goal, and then the major guys up front: Højlund, Xerxes, Bruno, Ahmad, Garnacho, and Mason Mount. This guy obviously gone. This guy gone. 4 goals last season, 2 goals last season in the Prem, or something like that, or maybe 4. Right? Like, now this season you have Altai. I'm hoping for Lamens very soon. I know that Ruben didn't want to throw him into the wood, into the fire, because look at what's going on already this season. Imagine if the poor kid had made a mistake or two. And imagine Brentford we lose because Lamens made a mistake. Now, man, poor kid would be getting destroyed. So I know he's been trying to, like, like make sure he doesn't come in and make a mistake too early, or like, just get destroyed by the media because he's so young. But I think he has to start. It just, outside isn't like horrendous, but he's not great either. I think Lamens has a brighter future, so we just need to see what that future looks like now. Sesko, Cunha, and Bomo, Xerxes, Ahmad, Bruno, and Mason, right? Like those are now the options from last season till this season. Just from 2 months ago, September 2nd was when Lamens came in, and Sesko came August 9th. Like, it's not been that long since these players have been here. So yeah, that second run of games, we haven't gotten off to a hot start, is because the front three that we are gonna be starting this season came Cunha June 12th, and Bomo July 21st, and Sesko August 9th. Sesko hasn't even been here 2 months, August, September. Like, what are we talking about? They haven't even, all 3 of them haven't been here total 2 months playing together, like starting games, like anything. And you guys are like, oh, why aren't they just scoring goals automatically? Why aren't we hot? Like, why aren't we? Bro, there's stats that show that in points we should be 4th in the league by our expected goals, by all of our stats that have come up when we're talking about advanced, like attacking stats. We are not as bad as what the results have shown. And it's not all on the manager trying to point to the fact that we haven't got better results. It still comes down to a core of players that we need to get rid of. The core of, like, Shaw, Maguire, Dallo, and Bruno have to be, and Casemiro have to at least be whittled down to like 1 or 2. Like, you can keep maybe 1 or 2 of those guys as long as you're replacing the other 3 with players like the ones that they've been bringing in. Like, you bring in players like the players you've been bringing in so far, I'm going to be extremely excited, bro. And we should all be extremely excited because Lisandro Martinez is probably 2 weeks away from replacing Luke Shaw going forward for the season, and I hope he can stay healthy. Because once he comes back and Mazraoui and Ahmad can hopefully like have a run of games where they don't miss any, we won't have to see Diogo Dallo or Luke Shaw very often. Even Harry Maguire, really. Even though, like, right now, Lisandro, Maguire, and De Ligt, I think, are with experience and all that, the best back 3 for us to start. Now, the one I would rather, it would be Lisandro, De Ligt, and Euro. Now, that's because Euro is just better than Maguire, I think. The only thing is he's very inexperienced. And one of the videos I show, like, that he's gonna make mistakes. Now, actually, not honestly, Lisandro, De Ligt, and Euro. Actually, I don't even care about Maguire being in there anymore. That should be our front. That should be our back 3, right? And then you go Dorgu and then Mazraoui. That's a solid back. That's a solid defense now, right? De Ligt and Maguire and Lisandro have played together in the past, so they know each other. So De Ligt will be able to focus a little bit more on the right hand side to help Euro in case of anything. So I think that's okay because Lisandro's very like good and experienced, so he should be okay like with less backup. So I think that would be okay, honestly. And then we start Bruno and Casemiro in the middle, and those front three in the front, bro, we're gonna score goals and we're gonna win games. Once that group right there gets like a run of 4 or 5 games together, they're gonna start winning games, bro. I promise you. And then the reason why, like, it feels like what the hell is going on so far the beginning of the season is because we've taken 2 steps forward and 1 step back, right? You could see before, like, up to the Bournemouth preseason game, there was an there was an like a there was definitely from preseason. If you look at the West Ham and Bournemouth game, there was definitely from the players that were here from when Amorim first took over in November till that Bournemouth game, preseason game. There was a very clear improvement in those 2 games from what we saw. There was a very clear improvement that from the team that was here, from when he got here in November of last season, till those first 2 preseason games, we were a much better looking team completely. Like, scoring, going forward, everything, we just looked better. Okay? We improved, and the way we played, everything. All of that. The only thing that hasn't improved in anything so far this season, let's say, is the results from last season. The results is the only thing, because the gameplay, the stats, everything has backed up the fact that we have started playing better this season than we did last season. So there has been an improvement. Now, the reason why there hasn't been an improvement in results is because we took a step back. Okay? When we played Bournemouth, we had the same players that we had since Amorim took over. We won 4-1. We looked very good. Everybody knew exactly what they were doing. And then from that game on, we have started new front 3, right? It was Mbomo, Cunha, and Mason Mount. From that, after that game, and then after like the 2 games of the Premier League, because Cunha and Mason got hurt, picked up little nicks. It's been different also the other 3 games. The other games, I mean. And we finally, last game, started the 3 guys that are going to start pretty much the whole season, right? That was our 1 step back, unfortunately. The players showed improvement. What did we want to see? Improvement. And we saw it all the way up until Bournemouth. And then we had a brand new front 3. And we've struggled to score goals. Can't you just ask yourself, is it because we have a brand new front 3, guys? You guys can't ask yourself that? Why have we struggled to score goals? Is it not just because Mbomo, Sesko, and Cunha have just started 1 game together and it was the last game? They've been here less than 2 months together, bro. They've played 1 game. They've started 1 game together. And you guys are like, why are we struggling scoring goals? Because the guys that we brought in to score goals have just played 1 game together. Let them have let them have games to like play together, yo. Let them have a run of 10 games together, and then tell me, like, is this not gonna work, bro? But you give them 1 game, 2 months, bro. Like, I get it, I get that the results suck, but why are we so focused on results right now? We are in a rebuild, guys. We're not even in year 2 of a rebuild, bro. Because in year 1 of a rebuild, a real year 1 of a rebuild, you get your preseason, you get 2 or 3 players that are supposed to help you in that system, and you're supposed to, like, create a culture. You're supposed to create a style of play. You're supposed to show an improvement in that. And that has been done inside of this 1 year. We haven't been 1 full year yet. Amorim took over in November, and the 2 or 3 players that were supposed to be brought in to help him have been here 2 months and have only played 1 real game together. It has not been a year where he got Cunha and Bomo and Sesko last season in November when he came in, and they've been here since then and they haven't started scoring goals. That's not it, man. That's not it. So it's just, you can't be looking at this and demanding results as if we're in year 2 of a rebuild. We're not in year 2, man. We haven't even. Okay, give them halfway through the season, and I'll give you that we are in year 2. When Bomo, Cunha, and Sesko have played half a season together, I'll allow you to say that we're in year 2. But until they get that, we are not anywhere near year 2 in a rebuild. You should not be demanding results inside of the first year of a rebuild. That's not what you do. But for some reason, that's what you guys are doing. Just take a step back, man. This is why the Ineos and them are saying that he's getting the full season, because they actually see stuff. They're not being reactionary. They're not demanding results inside of 1 year of him being here. They knew that they demanded something that he didn't want last season, which was to come in halfway. And this is why, because he has to teach a system that nobody was playing here at United, that none of those players really knew. And he was gonna teach them halfway through a year where now he's a new manager. Now you're trying to get the players to like follow you, because there hasn't been a culture, there hasn't been anything. All these players have been doing whatever the hell they've been wanting for 2, 3, 4 years. Really, they've been doing it ever since Oli left and Ragnick was here, because Ragnick wasn't really coaching. He just took over. Like that's the same kind of crap that you guys are trying to do here, right? Like Ragnick took over Oli with no plans of being the manager long term. He was just like seeing out the season. What the fuck was the point of that? At that point, why not just let Oli finish the season, bro? That was the most idiotic thing I ever saw, bro. Because imagine Oli got the chance to just finish the season and somehow turn it around. He would still be our manager. But the fact that that management team before fired him and brought somebody in who didn't have any plans of being the manager going forward, bro. What the fuck was the point of that? That was the most idiotic thing I ever saw, bro. Oli at that point should have just gotten the rest of the season to finish it out and see what happens. But he didn't. That shit was so dumb, bro. And then ever since there, the players have been doing whatever they wanted, bro. Because under Eric Ten Hag, bro, I saw them play however the fuck they wanted, bro. They did whatever they wanted. They walked. Garnacho got the ball on the left and took a shot every single time. He cut in and took a shot, even if it was blocked. 90% of the time, he didn't care. It was just he was doing whatever he wanted. Now, if you're telling me Eric Ten Hag was telling him to do that, then I'm glad we got rid of him. But I'm just saying there was no culture. There was nothing when Amorim took over, bro. Halfway through a year. Now you have to think about who you're playing next, where you're traveling to Europe, how to teach these people, how to start a culture, how to do all of this stuff that wasn't here, man. And you guys are like, oh, that shit should have been done and easy. No, man. No, it's not how it works. When the dumpster fire that he inherited was as bad as it was, bro. It was really bad, man. Like, we didn't have a structure. We didn't have anything. Like, the players didn't have anything going. But the Ineos in the background were at least doing the stuff that needed to be done back there. And they've continued to do that. So now we actually have like a group that's doing stuff in the positive direction. Now we have a manager that has a real style of play, man. Like it's there. But you can see, I put videos showing, man, how these players just cannot play it. And I will agree that he's too hard-headed. But I also agree that if he's going to be here or wants to be here 10, 15 years, 20 years, then he has to build his system right now. He just has to. He can't, continue to let these players, play how they want to when he doesn't want them to be here in a year or two. Like, if you think he wants Dallo to be here in a year or two, Maguire, Luke Shaw, I know that he says, Luke Shaw is world-class and stuff, but he's just trying to, back his players up, bro. He needs Luke Shaw to try to play good, bro, because we don't have anybody else at the moment. He clearly says we miss Lisandro Martinez because he wants him to be there instead of Luke Shaw, bro. He just can't give the keys to the castle to Aiden Haven because he's just too young. You couldn't have been starting Haven, DeLit, and Yoro. Yoro's 19, Haven's 18, 19, bro. That's a ridiculous thing to think that you could do, right? As a manager, with the way that these people expect results and that want results right now, that would have been a crazy way to do things. Now, are they better than the players that are playing? I think so, but they're still so inexperienced. They're gonna make inexperienced mistakes, and then the people are gonna start going after them, and that's not what we want. So that's why the manager is making sure that they don't get that. So he's trying to rely on experienced players, but the experienced players we have freaking suck, man. They do. Just go and look at my videos, man. It's horrendous, bro. It wasn't as quick of a video as I wanted to, but here it is, man. Take a look. It's really not. It's not bad as bad, man.